Meshack, good morning.
Good morning, Fred.
I'm in studio with Senator John Nyoto of Moranga and Justina Wamae, who's a champion for economic democracy. We're discussing this issue about the proposals or the way forward towards addressing the crisis this country currently faces, and more importantly, or specifically, the latest proposal by the former Prime Minister for an intergenerational national conclave. And I wonder, what is your feeling about that? There are some who feel that the Raila Odinga is being a bit disingenuous in his calls, given that he has, as an individual, benefited from previous such engagements.
Thank you, Fred. My personal feeling and opinion is that is there any other way? Because for me, the major question would be, right now, our young people are on the streets, and the country is going down the slopey route that could easily finish the country up. So do we have other better alternatives? And what are those other better alternatives? Because it is serving no purpose to just say what Honorable Raila Odinga is proposing as a way to try and stop us from going down the cliff is wrong, but you're not also bringing us other opinions that you think are more perfect and can save this country much better and quicker given the situation where we are. So what do we have to lose when we go on the table and maybe engage all sections of Kenyans? Because for me, those are the quick questions that comes to my mind. What do we have to lose that is more important if we go to the table and sit down as a country and bring young people in large numbers to actually talk about the things in clarity in terms of what they want their country to look like in the coming days? And what do we have to gain from that? And then the opposite is also there. What do we have as a country when we continue with this route and continue going? And what do we have to lose if we continue this way? So those are easy questions that comes to my mind about this. And then many people claim out there that, okay, these kind of conversations have been there and people like Raila have benefited on them. I think that is a bit too simplistic, if you ask me, because if we talk about those who are present, I was a bit younger and I was not in attendance, but I know there was BAMBA's process. And it is as one of the major conversations that have happened in this country when we came when we got the multi-party democracy back in 1992 after Section 2A repealing. Then came those many years until the time of BAMBA's. And the BAMBA's process gave this country the way forward in terms of a constitution. And here we are, the young people have now a space where they can do anything they want online, on the street, although we are still not having it the way it is in the constitution and in our mind. So what is wrong sitting down again and saying, we have it, but we would have wanted to have it this way. What we have is not really it. I don't know what we are losing with that. And if you are saying people like Raila have benefited, probably it is because you are not going into the details. You are just remaining on the surface. If Raila has benefited, has he benefited away from the constitution? Because if he was former prime minister, it was a conversation that went to parliament, and parliament, which is representative of the people from across this country, ratified and said, this is what it is, this is what we want. Were there parliamentarians who asked their people, and their people, the people they are represented, said, no, we don't want that? I doubt. If there is one, he would have already come out, or she would have already come out. So I think it is a bit too simplistic to just conclude that some politicians benefit. Politicians are Kenyans, and I don't know why we want to make it look like politicians are from Mars, and so they do not reserve any right to benefit in any process that Kenya goes through. And everybody is also allowed to be a politician to benefit if anybody wants to benefit. So personally, I think the route we are taking is far too more dangerous than if we would have listened to each other and have a conversation and know where we want to take our country.
But Meshack, isn't that the same thing as simply pacifying the current status quo? That, okay, fine, we are uncomfortable with the demonstrations and the looting and the destruction of property, so let's go to the table to pacify the youth so that we can continue as normal. Because politicians, yes, some benefit directly, some scuttle the process. You talked about Bomas and the process at Bomas, and you all understand that after that there was Naivasha, that people met there, mostly politicians, and they changed a lot, diluted a lot that had been discussed at Bomas. It is a consequence, or the consequence of these talks that we're talking about. Are we able to have consequential talks that will matter later? Because even Chapter 6 of the Constitution, which is very clear, is yet to be implemented up to this time.
Fred, it is true they went to Naivasha and a lot was changed, and I am alive to that fact. But was that process and the whole document brought to the people of Kenya to say yes to or to say no to? And did the people of Kenya say yes to? So the people of Kenya can also not, remove themselves and look like some angels on the sky and politicians are the only bad ones here. Those processes, many times they come back to the people. And some of the people we are talking about are in parliament day in, day out. How do they get themselves back to this parliament if they are so bad, if they are the only people who benefit, if they are the... What is our role as Kenyans, and what are we doing about it? At this time of crisis, if we want to say all of us are okay, politicians are the bad ones, and then politicians will not find a solution for us. This solution, Fred, according to me, it has to come from the people. And whenever we have a crisis, I don't know which country have got crisis and there is nothing in terms of one person or another talking to the other. If there is any crisis in a country, at least it might not be the form that Raila is proposing, but the talking must be there at some point. I mean, we can delay it. It's okay. This country is ours. We want to do anything we want with it. But at least at some point they will be talking. That's the truth.
All right. Thank you for that. And as we continue looking for solutions and looking at old ways of doing things,